to really learn English? Today in this video, I'm gonna, share with you a system that I believe that based on that system, a language should be learned. So this approach that I'm gonna share with you has helped lots of my students and especially myself. It was this approach that helped me finally to become fluent in English after 6 or 7 years of studying English. If you're not seeing any progress in your English, try this system, try this approach, and let me know in the comments if you have tried it and if you've seen any results. So this approach is the most natural process of learning a new language because this is the way that we learned our first language, our mother tongue. Do you remember when you were a kid? Did you start to write and read, then you learned how to speak and listen? No. When you were a kid, when you were a child, first you started with listening. The first step of our system is listening. You should start your listening process by watching the simplest video, by listening to simplest podcast, music, YouTubers. So here's my advice. Try to find the simplest videos, educational videos, fun videos, whatever that works for you. But my recommendation is to start from educational videos like that, they come in front of a camera and they ask you the simplest questions like, what's your name? What's your name? And they teach you how to answer this question like, my name is, or I'm, and then gradually you can move on to more complicated things and videos. So this is actually how a kid learns a language, learns their mother tongue. So kids listen to their parents explain everything to them, and they listen for a year, give or take, and then they start to speak naturally, and it comes to you as well. As we are not kids and there is no adult to explain us everything, you can self-educate yourself by googling up words, by watching YouTube videos, and as I told you, listening to podcasts. But I prefer watching something. You can start with watching TV shows like Friends. This show has helped a lot of people in their journey to fluency. So my recommendation is for you to start from a simple show. The next step, the second step, is speaking. Mark my word, when you spend a lot of hours on listening and repeating what you hear and, figuring out what you listen, speaking comes to you a lot easier. We start with simply, repeat after native speakers or repeat after educational videos. Make sure to turn on the subtitles for the beginning parts, because as a beginner, you may drop some words when someone is talking, when someone is speaking. So make sure to turn on the subtitle and repeat after the subtitle, repeat after that person. The next step is shadowing. Shadowing is about accuracy and repeating. But in shadowing, you repeat exactly what another person is saying with that exact pronunciation, with that exact style of saying that word or that sentence. So this is called shadowing. The shadowing step will work on your pronunciation, will work on your learning new phrases, new words, idioms, expressions, and of course, grammar structures naturally. Next step is reading. I think reading is really important in general, but when you first start to learn a language, reading is about the quality, not the quantity. So try to read slowly, with accuracy, with paying a lot attention to the words and their stresses and their part of speech. So make sure you understand what you're reading. There is no need to look up every word that you see, as long as you understand the whole context, because it might be tiring for you. But if you can do it and look up every word that you don't know, it's amazing. So make sure to pick up something easy and related to your interest to start your reading step, and then gradually you move to more complicated reading, text. So the next step would be writing. The easiest thing for the beginners to practice their writing skill is to copy a text. At first, you don't need to come up with your own sentences. You don't need to, obey all the writing rules. That's fine. Just find a simple and short text and copy it by writing with your own handwriting. This exercise is really helpful because it can help your brain to pick up new words and new grammar structures by writing them. And at least you can learn the words order in a sentence. I'm sure there are some people wondering, what about the vocabulary part? Okay, let me tell you this. You don't need to memorize random vocabularies every day. That is not really useful. You need to learn in-time learning. What is in-time learning? You're reading a text and you want to copy it and you want to write it down. So there are some words, some new words for you, some expressions that you are curious about them. Look them up and try to remember and review them every day for 6 sessions. You're gonna expand your vocabulary in a really short time. While learning a new word and looking up that word, try to look up for the English meaning, English to English translation. But I know that there are some hard words that you need the exact translation. So the next step is learning grammar. Honestly, trying to learn grammar along with the steps I told you before. But even if you're studying grammar from a grammar structure book, you'll still have questions after totally reading it. But you should remember that learning a language is a lifelong process and it takes a lot of time to become fluent. Try to start with listening. I suggest you to listen for a month or two. 2 is better. And then go to the second step, which was speaking. And you should maintain the listening part with your speaking step as well. You shouldn't abandon listening part totally. You should have both of them together. Listen and speak, okay? That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Bye bye for now.